welcome everybody.
So,
we are having such a good time chatting, but I'm gonna
what else are we
get
going
us
to do
started
today,
right?
Valerie?
Welcome to Jim's beautiful home in South Carolina. I'm Valerie Menzel, and I am so delighted to introduce the talented, the beloved, the exceptional Jim Shore.
Hello, everybody. It's such a delight to be with everybody today, and I really appreciate you coming. You know, it's been kind of a long, dreary couple of years that we've gone through. We haven't been together for quite some time, and it's just an absolute joy to be here with my sweet friend Valerie again in person. And so we hope to bring you some really exciting and interesting things today, and Valerie's going to tell you more about it.
Yes, and absolutely. It feels like being home again with everyone back together again.
I
The gang
agree.
is back together.
I agree.
So we are so happy to be here, and tonight is very exciting because it's our annual fall signing event, but this one is the biggest one we've ever done. So this is an exceptional evening for the folks out there.
That's true. You know, for any of you all who have attended any of these virtual signings that we've done in the past, you know, we have a fairly limited number of pieces that are available for the signing. Well, we got to thinking about this, you know, and it's kind of unfair to go through this and go up to the distribution center that I go to and spend the time signing with such a limited number. And there's so much more to the line to see, and so many more interesting, you know, subjects and approaches, you know, artistically. And we need to bring it out and show you all more and give you an opportunity to get a signed piece that's more than just that small collection. So we have blown the lid off this thing, and the collection that you see, you're looking at this, it's nothing. I mean, you ought to see what's sitting right over here, and you will in just a little bit.
Exactly.
But it's a huge collection of things that are available. You'll see as we progress here, and every one of them will be signed, and that's what I'm excited about.
Absolutely. So, you know, we have so many things to show tonight. Everything that we're going to talk about, everything we're going to show can be signed by Jim. But if you go to jimshore.com, you can see the entire selection. And we're talking, everything from big pieces to the little character poses to coloring books. There is something for everyone. All I can say, Jim, is you're going to be one tired puppy at the end of this.
Actually, I look forward to that. You know, it's, well, you know, one of the exciting things that I'll just throw in here, we are celebrating 20 years of Heartwood Creek. We've been bringing this artwork to you for 20 years, and it's been 20 wonderful years. I've met so many wonderful people and had so many great experiences while I'm creating this artwork, almost as long with Disney and with our friends at QVC and so much more, you know, the other co-brands, you know, Peanuts and the Grinch, and the list is fairly long, and it's been an absolutely delightful journey so far, and it is far from over.
Absolutely. I mean, we have got so many things for people to choose from. Santas, Grinches, Disney, you name it, we've got it tonight. And even some really special, hard to find items. There's a rotating snowman that you won't believe. It's absolutely fabulous. So.
And there's also a celebratory piece celebrating the anniversary, which is a very limited piece. So if you get your hands on this, it is one of those pieces that will gain value as the years go on in that secondary market that everybody's so excited about these days, you know?
So let's get started. So how does this all work tonight? All you need to do is go to jimshore.com or click on the link that you'll see above the picture here, and you'll be able to see all the items that are available for sale to be signed by Jim. We'll get them to you as soon as possible. It is while supplies last. There's only so many to go around and so much of Jim to have sign all these things. We do need 4 weeks for delivery, but that'll give you plenty of time before Christmas. And if you're on Facebook, don't worry about it. Just go to jimshore.com. You can see everything there. This video will loop until midnight tonight, so you can keep watching if you've missed something and wanted to see it again. And we'll just go from there. So.
And I've been working out.
He's ready to go, right? And what better way to start than with Disney, our favorite. So
I want to go through a few of these pieces, and then we'll swap them out and we'll show you some more stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, so these are Disney selections, and you know the unique thing about Disney, and one thing that I think has kept me so enthusiastic about my relationship with Disney is the fact that it's not just the iconic pieces, which obviously we all love.
Right.
You know, Mickey, Minnie,
Yes.
Goofy, and Pluto, and all the rest, Donald. But it's so much more. I mean, they have their version of so many of the fairy tales and the stories and different things like that they've taken and actually just made them iconic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when you think of Snow White, you know, or you think of the Beauty and the Beast. This is the imagery that comes to mind.
Right,
You know,
right.
Same way with Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
This is a piece that's called. It's in our collection called Carved by Heart, and it actually comes out of a section of wood, so that, as you can see, this part of it down here is actually the bark, and it's carved into it. And I love doing these things. I've done this with just about every story grouping that I've ever done. Some of them are serious, some of them are whimsical, and some of them go after these storylines. This one here is, of course, Winnie the Pooh, and with all the characters there. And that's the good thing about it, because see, I can do a vignette like this and actually showcase, you know, all the characters to the story.
Right.
And then it's in a setting that looks nice. And so the people who like to collect, let's say, Winnie the Pooh, this could be a beautiful centerpiece for that kind of collection, you know.
Exactly.
Or if they like the Carved by Heart theme, I've got them, you know, with Peter Pan and with Lion King and with so much more, you know.
Right.
And so collectively, it makes a pretty impressive collection. So,
Oh, yeah,
or a
absolutely.
standalone piece. You know,
Absolutely.
either way, it's I think it's one of those pieces that each one of these elements too becomes almost like a project in itself, you know, because you can see the detail, you know.
Oh, unbelievable.
And so that's a good approach. We love doing that, and it's something to look at all the way around. So there you go.
Exactly. And this Snow White is going to be part of the Enchanted Princesses collection,
right.
correct?
And we will end up doing all of them, and we've done several. We've done Ariel, and we've done Tiana, and we've done Snow White. So, you know, as time goes on,
Beautiful.
all of the princesses, I think there's 14 of them, will be included, and they'll be in this kind of size with this elegant approach, using the the gemstones and the pearls and the chains and the iridescent colors and the metallics and all that stuff that sort of sets these
beautiful.
pieces apart.
Beautiful.
So as you can see, this piece is
The detail.
a very dramatic piece, and once again, see, it all depends on how people want to use it. This could be all by itself if you love this piece. It could be a centerpiece for a beautiful Disney collection, you know, or
Of course.
and that sort of stuff. So or if you put all of these pieces side by side, you're talking about a really dramatic collection for people who are really truly serious about it. Now here's another approach too that I want to talk about. We've done these personality poses, and what that is, we call them personality pose because it centers in on just one character, the main character oftentimes, and it has them in a pose. So it's a personality pose. But in the back here, we've done in clear resin something that is relevant iconically to the story, the movie, and so forth. And we've done that with so many of the princesses already.
Yeah. And this one is even perfect for Halloween. It could be a Christmas or a Halloween.
Yes, it could.
The Night Before Christmas pieces.
Yes, it could. This is of course, Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, which is a Disney property, and it's a subject that we love. I've done this so many different ways, and you know, large and small, and all the characters and everything. And this is a really great addition to it. You know, it's Jack and Jack Skellington and Sally, you know, and they're sort of, so shall we say, lovers, if they're doing that
romantic moment.
Yeah, in the afterworld, but and then with the moon behind them, so it's yeah.
And I have to share this one. This is a very popular big seller right now, and isn't she gorgeous? Look at Minnie. This is great Minnie.
The nice thing about a piece like this is that I enjoy doing these oversized pieces. You know, a lot of times I'll do a design, and it's this subject or any subject. And most of my figural pieces are, you know, 10, 11 inches tall and very, you know, easily put into a group. But every once in a while, I'll look at the piece and say, you know, that could be an ornament. So we'll shrink it down like this.
Yeah.
Or that could be a garden piece, you know, an outdoor piece, an oversized piece. And this is what we'll do to them. And now, when we do these oversized pieces, which, to tell you the truth, I mean, it's a delight to do because there's a certain amount of freedom in having this large of a format to work on as compared to the, you know, the tiny detail, which drives me nuts. but we get the job done.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. But a piece like this, now we always coat that with a UV inhibitor, so it's you can put it outside and it stands up to the sun and the weather pretty well.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, it's gorgeous, and it's selling like hotcakes.
All right, now, so here's our friend Mickey. Now, this particular piece here is done sort of in kind of the folk art styling as far as the textures and so forth are concerned. You can see it's very faceted from the knife cuts without being polished into a smooth. I leave it like that because when it's dry brushed, it creates a visual texture that's pretty interesting. So that's definitely a Christmas piece.
Well, we don't have time and space to talk about everything. So again, please go to jimshore.com to see all the different items that we have to offer. And we're going to switch these out. So in the meantime, take a look up here. Here's a few of the other items that we haven't had time to talk about. Again, you'll see big and small and intricate and just something for everyone. There's so many beautiful pieces here to talk to. And in more on the website, it's just phenomenal how many pieces we're bringing to the group this time. And you know, Jim, I was thinking that it's interesting because you do have something literally from everyone and every price point, right? I mean, we're talking about big pieces, little pieces, ornaments, something that everyone can have a piece, something of yours that they can take home.
Good point, Valerie. And I'll tell you, it goes kind of beyond that, to tell you the truth. I mean, this has been a very popular line for a very, very long time. And I think there's a reason for that. You know, we in the industry, we try to analyze and explain and figure and see what's working and what's not working. Well, I do what I love to do in a wide path of subject matters, themes, and actually the stylings. So I think, and I'm pretty sure that that's what has made it, you know, sustainable and successful for such a very long time, because, as you say, there's something in here for everyone. Now, these pieces here are all whimsical, and there are characters, you know, they're from Peanuts, and they're from, you know, this wonderfully iconic, you know, so-called comic strip.
Right.
You know, I've always loved that because it's more than a comic strip. You know, it's got, you know, well, life lessons and, you know, humor that goes beyond just, you know, simply, you know, some slapstick comic thing. Now, I never met Charles Schulz, who was the creator of Peanuts, but I did meet his daughter.
Did you?
And she looked at the collection, and she told me, she said she thought her father would really approve, and that was high praise to me.
Absolutely, and so many great pieces. I mean, you know, I'm a big Snoopy fan, so I always love your Snoopy pieces.
Me
this
too.
one is really adorable.
I know, isn't that cute?
That's super cute.
We get these ideas, you know, how can we make the Peanuts characters express something to the, you know, people who collect it, and that's what we try to do.
This one, they're like a tree, you know, like climbing on top of each other to make a
this
tree.
This is the little star of the tree.
I love that. It's so fun. These are just fun and warm-hearted, and they just make you smile.
I think so too. You know, that's kind of, well, to bring joy to people and bring happiness to people, that's the object of the whole exercise, to tell you the truth. I mean,
absolutely.
A lot of the things we do, you know, some of them are serious, some of them are patriotic, some of them are spiritual, some of them are, you know, whimsical and so forth. But and also I mentioned styling. You know, it goes from folk art that's fairly primitive in the right kind of way,
right,
up to the you know, the elegance of the Victorian and the you know, the large Snow White that we were just looking at, and it's really all points in between, and even in coloration. You know, we do the white woodland, which is very neutral. You know,
any decor.
Yeah, very decor oriented. Something you could decorate with without it, screaming, "Here I am, I'm color," full of color, which initially when I did those white woodland pieces, it was the first real departure color-wise that I had actually introduced into the line.
Wow.
So it's ever changing and adding and massaging and everything from an artistic standpoint, and then we put them out there to all of you, and we see how you like it.
And absolutely, people are loving it.
I know. So far.
I know these Peanuts ones are always so popular. So we're going to switch these out, and we're going to move on to another very, very favorite, the Grinch. Now, for some reason, the world simply loves the Grinch. I don't know what that is, but it must speak to something in us because that is so hugely popular.
I know, because he's a mean one.
I know. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. But I mean, you do such a great job with him, and you capture him so beautifully, and there's something just so delightful about these pieces.
Yeah, that's a unique piece that you have in your hand.
Yeah.
This is, I've done a lot of, if you're familiar with my line, periodically I'll do a two-sided piece, and it's kind of the yin and the yang of the subject, you know.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's the
Happy Grinch.
Starts out. This is the one that everybody wouldn't touch with a 27.5-foot pole. Okay, when I think of the Grinch, I always hear Boris Karloff's
Of course,
sound in my
who
head.
wouldn't, right?
Okay, so there's the
and the greasy black peel that always goes through my head too.
There's the naughty side, as you can see.
And there's the sweet
then
side after his heart is grown.
His heart is grown 10 times, So that sort of tells the story.
And look, we're going to talk about gnomes later, but how clever you turned the Grinch into a gnome. And the gnomes are going off the charts, so popular right now.
I am clever occasionally.
You're super clever.
Yeah.
Super clever. I love the whole thing.
And here's another one. They sort of go together,
How fun is that? And there's I love your sense of humor, and that you sprinkle that in, which is so fun. And this one has lights on it, so that's an even more interesting piece.
You can see his attitude.
He's like, wah.
I can relate to that, actually. Sometimes I get tangled up in things myself, But the nice thing about it is these lights actually work. So it makes a very unique piece.
It's unique, and it's fun, and it's something different, right?
And you can turn him up like this, and there's a smile.
There you go. There you go. So it's fun because you brought your artistry to the Grinch, to an iconic character, which is what you're so famous for, which is one of your brilliance.
It's an awesome story, and it's an awesome character. Yeah. So it's sort of a natural,
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to switch these out and move on. We have so many things to show you. We're just going to keep on moving through.
Well, we told you at the beginning that we had a lot of stuff to show you, and keep in mind, you order any of these pieces, any of them at all, and there'll be every single solitary one of them will be signed, and I don't take that lightly. When I do a signing, I make sure that I spend a little bit of extra time on every signature, so that when they get the piece, they'll be absolutely assured that I've put some thought in it, because without getting too sappy about it, that's what I think about when I do these signings.
I know. You care. You actually care, and you put a little piece of your love into every piece.
Well, it's because part of what we're doing, the commercial side of it means very little to me. It's the personal connection that keeps me going artistically, because that's basically what I'm all about. The commercial side of it, that can be taken care of by the license and everybody else.
Right.
But it's incumbent upon me that I understand the importance of the relationship.
With all the
I
wonderful
take it to
people
heart.
out there. Yes.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
And that is what it is all about. And anything that doesn't understand that is doomed to failure.
I believe it. And if you're just joining us, what we're doing tonight is our biggest signing event ever. If you go on jimshore.com or click on the link above this video, you'll get to see all the pieces that are available for purchase to be signed by Jim. We'll get them to you as soon as possible. while supplies last. There's only so much of Jim around. There's only so many pieces. And because these events are so popular, we sell out really quickly. So you want to get on there as quick as you can. It's only until midnight tonight. And we do need 4 weeks for delivery, but that's plenty of time to get there by Christmas. So do get on there tonight, jimshore.com, and pick out what you like, pick and choose, and then know that even if you're on Facebook or you're watching this later on, this will loop until midnight, and you'll be able to shop until midnight while supplies last.
It's the biggest, baddest signing that we've
ever
done.
had. You're pulling out all the stops this time.
Right.
So the sky's the limit.
Well, we told you early on that we had a lot of stuff, and as we're swapping this stuff out, I want you to pay close attention because, like Valerie said, some of these things are limited. So jump on there and get what you want. As soon as you see it, because it might.
It may not be there.
Gone.
Yeah, it may not be there in 15 minutes.
Okay, let's start talking about this stuff because there's a lot to talk about.
Oh, Santas.
This is all Christmas.
Yep.
I do a lot of Santas. You may have noticed.
Oh yes, it's one of your signature pieces.
Well, I started out. The first collection in Heartwood Creek was a collection of Santas.
And it's 20-year anniversary.
Now,
congratulations.
What made it take off to begin with? Any art endeavor starts, if it's going to be success, it starts out with originality. That's hard to come by.
True. Because
influences and so forth, But and this happened to be very original. And what I did was, when asked to present a Santa line to my license, which is the UNESCO up in Chicago, I thought initially when I was talking about it that's kind of impossible, because hundreds of artists, including myself, had done hundreds of Santas, hundreds of different ways for hundreds of years.
Right.
And so I thought, well, initially you could think, well, everything's been done.
Yeah.
But I got to thinking, as I was saying no, I was thinking yes.
Oh.
Because I love folk art, and I love all of the elements of folk art, and I thought, it'd be interesting to sculpt some really cool, interesting Santa shapes, which I could do,
right,
and then decorate them with things that have absolutely nothing to do with the season or with Santa or with anything else, because they're folk art elements.
Right.
They're quilt patterns. They're this Norwegian inspired rosemalling and elements of that. They filter it all the way down to our Pennsylvania Dutch.
Right.
Colonial stuff. And that kind of thing. And then there's other elements too. And there's imagery that goes on the piece that has something to do with the story and all that. So I thought, if I did that, man, that would be using them as more of a backdrop. I mean, still a main character, but they're a backdrop, and so that has then been expanded out into the nativities and the angels and the snowman, and that's the approach.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it a signature styling.
Right.
And so I'm happy I came up with that.
Oh my gosh, it's the secret to your success, I think. I mean, Heartwood Creek, 20 years.
I thought it was my personality.
Well, that too, darling. But 20 years is such a phenomenal accomplishment.
True.
It's probably one of the most successful gift lines ever. Wow. I would think, right?
All due to the folks that are watching right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, so.
Tell us more.
All right,
Tell us more.
We've got the Santas that we have.
Are just beautiful.
Yeah, and once again, each and every one of the Santas that I do are different from any other Santa that I do. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of one of the challenges, And this is the Santa about the some of the Christmas songs. We do a continuing collection of that, and here we come a caroling. That's the theme of that particular one.
And this one has such detail, and it has a little bit of glitter on it, which makes it pretty and shiny.
We use that little sugar glitter to give it just a little bit of zip. But once again, I'm talking about the imagery. The imagery on this goes all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Every piece has design all the way around, 360 degrees, and it's just the detail, the beauty of each little piece of these. It's just remarkable to me, absolutely remarkable. It's just wonderful work.
Well, thank you so much. This piece here is interesting in the fact that it is cardinal themed. And cardinals are
the caring cardinal.
Yes,
right?
and we have our friend Lisa Noon, that does caring cardinals.
Yes.
So we collaborate with her on that. because the subject is just so unique, and it means so much to so many different people.
Yeah, cardinals are an important symbol to a lot of
Well,
people.
for one thing, see, they don't migrate. So they're a pop of color and a pop of a sort of a harbinger of good things to come, even in a dreary and drab,
Right.
snowscape or whatever.
Right. And
Okay.
here's this one. We'll point this one
There you
out
go.
before we move on.
That was a collaboration, I think, with Lisa.
Lisa, isn't that
Lisa
beautiful?
Noon
Look how
of
gorgeous
Carrying
that is.
Cardinals. Okay, this is a good piece
Oh,
too.
look at this. This one.
I
This
want
one's
to show
great.
you this one.
This one's a lot
Wow.
of fun.
Everybody, what do you see here? You see snowman head, right? Awesome. However, turn it around,
And look at
that's what
this.
you're really, what really showcases this piece.
Yes, this is a really special piece. This is the rotating
Yep,
snowman.
and it's lit up, so you got this nice frosty glow in the back, and it's got the glitter on the trees that just sparkle. But the diorama in the back is in high detail too.
So
And so as a centerpiece, you can put that on the table and see it all the way around. Or if you put it on your mantle, I suggest you put a mirror or something behind it so you can see it on both sides.
What a brilliant idea. That's
well,
a
like
great
I told you,
idea.
occasionally, huh?
What can he say? What can he say? And look, here's one of the beautiful
White woodland.
white woodlands that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. How sort of neutral these colors are, and the trick, I guess you might say challenge, was to come up with a color scheme like this that's neutral, that still fits in beautifully with the rest of the line, cohesive in that regard, and also is immediately identifiable as my artwork.
And so much of the decor these days is neutral.
Yes.
So this would go in perfectly with that. Or you could mix and match, actually. It all works together.
Exactly.
Which is so lovely. And don't forget the basket. Now this could be another centerpiece.
That could be a centerpiece. You could put potpourri, or
Christmas balls.
ornaments,
Yeah.
candy, any number of things in there, but don't mistake the potpourri for trail mix.
Oh,
no. That's my...
Yeah, you don't want to do that. But this
I've done that before.
Oh, no.
High in fiber. But,
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But this reminds me of, you've done so many fabulous Easter baskets, right?
Yep.
And this is like in that same, line of thought, right? Where you have something really beautiful in a basket
baskets are an
form.
interesting challenge because you are confined to that particular, shape and everything, and so the decoration is actually what makes it.
So beautiful. And baskets are so popular. They're in all shapes and sizes these days.
Yeah,
So
I love
how
them.
beautiful is that?
Okay, a piece that let me show you this piece first.
Oh, the Three Kings. That was
this
a good
is,
one.
This is the Three Kings, and this is one of the more detailed pieces I think that I've ever done. It shows the Three Kings. It's kind of a nativity all in one piece, so that you have the whole story in a fairly small footprint, which you could send away to college with your kids for their college dorm, or for a small apartment, or for just a pop of something that tells the story during the season, because you have the whole Holy Family and the shepherds, and once again the wise men, and then the angels in the background with the stars. So I think as far as a single piece that's in this kind of styling, maybe the best piece I ever did.
Really?
Yeah, look at the back of it.
It is beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous?
So it's
and you're right. It's a smaller. Usually nativities are so big,
So
right?
it
And they
even
take up a lot of
Even
space.
comes with some snow,
Oh no, they're beautiful.
So there we go.
It's beautiful, and the detail work is incredible. Really incredible.
So anyway,
Absolutely beautiful.
that's a unique piece.
And then there's this one,
That's a plaque.
a plaque that again. Something for everyone, even if you just want a little something for the wall kind of thing.
And if you go to the website, you'll see more plaques that are available, not necessarily in this signing, but there are available to do as groupings and that kind of stuff.
And there's a lot of weight to them. This is a heavy-duty piece,
and it's made where it's got a keyhole
so you can hang it.
right there. You can hang it,
Yeah.
or you can, and it will set as a standalone piece. So
It's beautiful.
it is beautiful.
It's really beautiful. Now let's talk about gnomes. You've got some adorable gnomes in this collection.
I have to wait.
And I have to tell you, they are just too cute to be true. I mean, look at these guys. So fun. And gnomes are so popular. They were like a big deal these days. So that was really great idea.
Did you realize, Valerie, that me putting the gnomes on the line was kind of almost a mistake?
What happened?
Well, I never intended initially to put them on the line.
And what happened? did?
I did them initially for the entertainment of the grandchildren.
Oh, you're kidding.
And so the first ones I did were, kind of plain and everything, but cute. And it was suggested, hey, you got to put those on the line.
Oh, yeah, they're adorable.
I said, come on, it's an upside down ice cream cone with a nose.
Oh, no.
They said, no, put it on the line. So we did, and now it's gone. It's exploded, and it's gone all over size, subject. We've done gnomes around the world. We've done, so many different
so super cute
venues, but they are cute.
And I love that they were inspired by your grandchildren. What a sweet story.
They are, they sometimes inspire me.
Oh, but
I try to inspire them too.
Yes, well, I'm sure you do. But they're absolutely beautiful and so
I've got
fun.
13 of them,
How do you keep them all straight? You've got little name tags so you remember who's who?
Don't ask me to name them. That's worse than naming than the dwarfs. So anyway.
Yeah, these are great.
And then this one, once again, it's in that white woodland, kind of look. So that's really a cool piece.
So cool. Okay, so the masterpiece that we need to discuss.
Yeah.
Our big one.
I've been waiting to show you this.
The big one.
This piece celebrates 20 years of Heartwood Creek, and it's obviously a Santa Claus, and I think the coloration of the Santa Claus here is unique because I've used not a Christmas green but a spring green to apply designs that aren't necessarily inspired by rose modeling, but they're inspired by the type of designs I use in engraving.
Okay.
So they have more of that look, a very flowing and beautifully organic look, against this the beautiful Christmas red. And then the belt itself is a platinum color. Platinum is the metal that celebrates 20 years.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You got silver and gold.
Yes,
and
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. And then the green gemstone too, isn't that? That's 20 years as well.
That little green gemstone right there is the stone that represents 20 years of celebration. Oh. However, the coolest part about this, I think, is this frieze panel that I've gone all the way around, and it has examples of just about every subject that I'm sort of known for. You've got the three kings here, and and the Holy Family. You've got Santa Claus decorating the tree. You've got the lighthouses. You've got some of the woodland animals and the snowman and the cardinals and the angels in different iterations. And you've got a witch, the owl. You got a gnome right there. Wow. You continue on around. You got cats. You've got toy soldiers. You've got who's this guy? Who do you think that is?
I can't even tell. Who is that? That's not supposed to be you, is it?
That's me right there.
So it's a little. You have what do they call that? A cameo.
Yes.
You did a cameo like Hitchcock. Cameo.
So anyway, the whole story of what I do from start to finish basically is represented in that, including the base. And the base, I've changed patterns all the way around the base to include some of the patterning that I've used as sort of an applique look. Wow. So this is an extremely unique piece. This piece is a fairly short run too, since it is for this year and this year only.
Right.
So this is one of the, and I don't like to bring this up very much, but there is a very active secondary market. This one's going to be big on this.
Oh, this is going to be a very valuable piece going forward.
I love that piece.
It's unbelievable. I didn't even realize all the detail and all the little pieces here and how it talked to your whole 20 years. How wonderful is that?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to switch these out and keep moving. And remember, go to jimshore.com to see the entire selection of items that can get signed by Jim tonight until midnight. Remember, it's while supplies last, and these things will sell out, so please don't wait. Get on there as soon as you can and find the items you'd like to get. Jim, I'm just overwhelmed. There's so many beautiful pieces. How do you even choose one? I mean, it's remarkable, really.
Well, the interesting thing about the line is that we have to keep it at a manageable level.
I don't know how.
Well, the way we do it is through, retiring pieces, then pieces, through attrition and so forth. And that keeps the line manageable, but it keeps it all fresh because I do so many pieces every year. we can't just expand the line. It would be 16 or 17,000 pieces.
It'd be impossible.
And that would be impossible. So many of which we have at our studio and over here in our office, and so forth. But so we keep it manageable. But that's the thing I think that's kind of important. That if you're a collector and you see something that you really like, probably a good idea to get it, because it's not gonna be there forever. It will not be there forever.
Like that Santa, it's a limited, this year only. They only made a limited number of them. That's something that's going to be a real treasure, and it's going to be extremely valuable years down the road.
That's one of my favorite pieces, and that's probably the piece to have.
Yeah, if you love Jim Shore's work, that encompasses him all in one piece, which is really
with
really
my
amazing.
Cameo on
yeah,
it,
with your cameo even. I love that. Look at that.
And I'll tell you what. There won't be, the only ones that'll be signed are the ones that will be had today.
Exactly. So co-brands, moving on. This is something that is dear and dear to your heart. You've been doing this for years. There's a lot of connection here to people who may not know your artwork otherwise. So tell us about some of the favorites. I know Rudolph is dear and near to your heart.
The co-brands actually started with a request from Disney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the first one, and then on the sort of the backs of the success of the ones with Disney, then we started getting more and more. Rudolph was the second one.
Okay.
You know, and Rudolph has been a kind of a family tradition with us, you know, like forever. Yeah. And once again, I hear Burl Ives in my head.
Oh,
you know?
I know.
And so it was a real, I don't know, honor and delight to be invited to join their, you know, family.
Yeah,
you know, and so we've done that in so many different ways. This is the young Rudolph.
I'm cute. Remember, he goes, I'm cute.
I know. You know, it was funny. I wasn't sure how many people would understand or glom onto this or actually watched it. We had the first rollout of the piece first shown on a QVC, segment.
Okay.
And this is the first time that the host had seen it. As soon as she showed it out, she says, I want to be a dentist. I thought, that's something here.
Silver and gold, silver and gold. It resonates with how many hundreds of thousands of people, right?
I know.
Which is the beauty of your work.
You
speak to people on such a cellular level, you know? And then look at this one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a neat piece.
Yeah, this is from the FAO Schwartz famous toy shop.
Store, New York City.
Yeah, the toy store in New York City that played such a big part in that movie Big.
Big with the piano.
Yeah, so on some of the pieces I've included the
keyboard. The keyboard.
So that sort of brings back that so some of the elements of this. Like some of the toys that they're known for, particularly the giraffe.
Oh, those huge animals when you walked in the door.
Yeah, and then the actual motif here is designs that are part of their logo.
Oh, what a great idea!
So it's a good.
And you
piece.
did the same thing with the snowman
Same thing,
right?
Yep.
He has the logo on there as well.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
So if you like that, get it. And if you know anything about FAO Schwartz and you'll have to have one of these. If you don't know anything, you have to have one of these.
You should look it up. Google
exactly.
it. And then crayons. I love that. I mean, here you were a child prodigy. Started out with crayons probably as your very first tool of art, right? Your tool
Crayola is near and dear to my heart. I open up the box and that just the smell of the crayon, unmistakable,
Yeah.
And see, when I was little, they knew I was artistic. They bought me the big box.
Oh, the
one
big
with
one,
sharpener
all
in
the
it.
colors
We
lined
had
up.
the metallics,
Oh yeah, and the neon ones.
Oh yeah, that's how, they always knew I was happy by the color of crayons on my teeth,
No.
Okay, so what we've
So
done
we had to do something with Crayola.
Exactly. So I mean, what we've done. We've sort of basically used their design elements, to create this kind of composition. And this one I think is just cute as can be. This is actually Jan, my lovely bride. This is her favorite piece.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Because it's got these little sort of gnome characters
As the crayons, which is super
the
cute.
crayon things.
Yes,
Yeah.
super
And
cute.
stuff like this, a lot of these pieces, I hadn't mentioned this before, but some of them have these blank spaces on the back. I like to put blank spaces on it because oftentimes, this is a gift, or it might represent something,
Right.
Same way with the ornaments and different things. If it represents, I urge people to write that on there, and that becomes part of the history of that piece that becomes the tradition within the family, so it makes it a special piece. And then here's the
Crayola gnome. He's got a gnome for Crayola.
I tell you, this was a challenge. It really was. It's like, okay, a crayon. How do I make the blending of my style, the way I do things with a crayon? Well, this is what I've done.
Well, this is why also I think you've been so successful, is that it's been fun for you. You get to be so creative. What can I add to this? What can I do with this to make it my own? And I think that's part of your secret too.
You know what it is? It's like a mechanism. It's the mental imagery.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the design part of it, the thought, the planning, the development of the idea and everything. That's one of the most enjoyable parts of the whole process.
Because you're a true
artist. Actually
artist.
seeing it end up as a finished piece for real. It's like taking a dream and making it real. And that's a beautifully, wonderfully human thing to do.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm pretty happy doing it.
Oh gosh, we've had so much to share, and you know what, we've run out of time, but you can see so many more beautiful things on jimshore.com, so please, before midnight tonight, get on there, see all the things that he has available. We've only been able to show just a few things tonight.
Well, we've run out of time, but we haven't run out of pieces, and we haven't run out for a love and respect for each and every one of you.
Absolutely.
And we want you to know that, and I certainly invite you to come spend some time with us, take a look, and if you get a piece, trust me, it'll be signed personally by you, and I'll be thinking about you when I do it.
Absolutely. So it's only while supplies last. So please get on there before midnight tonight, jimshore.com. You can see everything that's available, and we'll need 4 weeks for delivery, which we'll get there by Christmas, we promise. So Jim, thank you so much for your wonderful work, for all that you do, and for putting so much love and care into every single piece.
Well,
it's just beautiful.
It's been a privilege and pleasure to be with all of you and with my good friend Valerie here. And until we meet again, God bless you all. We love you all, and we'll see you soon.
Take care.